Hello, adventurers! Today we are going to be talking about monks, those wonderful living weapons full of wisdom, focus, and kick-assery. So grab your humblest robes, your favorite pot of tea, and find your center, because here we go. Monks, along with druids, are one of my favorite classes. Here you have this martial arts master who is as graceful as a panther, silent as a prayer, and powerful as death. They study and are able to channel this magical energy that we all possess. And no, my friends, it's not midichlorians, but it's ki. The power of ki allows them to have increased speed or strength, move through shadows, heal or harm, and even move the elements. Monks are able to increase their use of or access to ki as they gain experience in martial arts and life. Either using specialized monk weapons like a kama or a nunchaku, simple weapons like a quarterstaff or a short sword, or even their bare hands or feet, monks are literally living, breathing weapons. A monk starts working with ki when they reach 2nd level and will gain additional ki with each additional level achieved. Starting at 2nd level, they can spend 1 ki point to make the following as a bonus action. Make 2 unarmed strikes, known as flurry of blows. Take the dodge action, known as patient defense, or disengage or dash, which will double your jump distance. And this is known as step of the wind. 3rd level is when a monk will choose their monastic tradition, which I will explain each in a moment. With the monastic traditions aside, higher level monks earn abilities like reducing fall damage, additional attacks per turn, impeding their enemy's ki, having magical unarmed strikes, increasing their agility, ending effects on themselves, becoming immune to poison and disease, understanding all spoken language, proficiency in saving throws, becoming invisible, and even slowing down the aging process. Like in every class, there are good and evil monks. Each must choose their path as they learn and grow in the shelter of monasteries under the tutelage of a master. Monastic orders are as varied as the stars. They can worship deities, the pursuit of knowledge itself, or the superiority of their own race. They can be anything from fanatics to hermits. So the first monastic tradition we'll talk about is the way of the open hand. So monks with this tradition are the ultimate martial arts masters of unarmed combat. So they can push, they can trip, they can manipulate ki to heal or damage, and they have advanced meditation for protection. So 3rd level, you can use your enemy's ki as well as your own in your attacks. 6th level, you can heal yourself with your ki, with your hit points equaling to 3 times your monk level. The 11th level is you can create yourself your aura of peace that protects you against certain attacks. And the 17th level, which is quivering palm, which is pretty much lethal vibrations that you can put into your enemy's bodies that will last for the number of days equal to your monk level. And you do have the power to end the vibrations with or without causing damage. So if they do fail a constitution saving throw, they get 10d10 necrotic damage. The next one is Way of Mercy. So pretty much think like Jedi meets doctors. So they use their life force to either heal or harm others. So they can be either the bringers of life or of death. And they are noted for their robes that have deep cowls and masks that completely conceal their face. So 3rd level is where the action starts happening. So they get their implements of mercy, which is a personal mask to each of them. So common themes are ravens, a blank mask that's completely white, a crying face or a laughing face, a skull, or even a butterfly. And then they also start with hands of healing. So they can mend wounds by restoring their number of hit points equal to their martial arts die plus their wisdom modifier. And in their flurry of blows, one of the unarmed strikes can be used for healing. They also have Hands of Harm, which is kind of the yin and yang, the other side of this, where they can spend 1 key point to add additional necrotic damage equal to their martial arts die plus their wisdom modifier once per turn. 7th level, they achieve the Physician's Touch, which is a hand of healing that can end one disease or any of the following conditions, which is blinded, deafened, paralyzed, poisoned, or stunned. And once again, they also have the Hand of Harm at this level, which is still the same as the 3rd level, but it can still only be used once per turn. The 17th level, they have a Hand of Ultimate Mercy. So they can touch a newly dead corpse, as in less than 24 hours, and use 5 key points to bring them back to life. This person's new hit points are equal to 4d10 plus their wisdom modifier. And if they're affected with any of the following conditions, they're removed. So if they're blinded, deafened, paralyzed, poisoned, or stunned, when they're brought back to life with the Hand of Ultimate Mercy, all of that's removed. So pretty cool. So the Way of Shadow, in case you couldn't tell by the name, is for those who are stealthy and possibly morally ambiguous. Think ninjas or spies, assassins. This requires unwavering obedience from any monk in this tradition. So 3rd level is Shadow Arts, where you can spend 2 key points to be able to cast Darkness, Dark Vision, Pass Without a Trace, Silence, and Minor Illusion. 6th level is Shadow Step, where you can literally step between the shadows as a bonus action up to 60 feet. Also in 6th level, you have Cloak of Shadows, where you become invisible in dim light or darkness until you attack, cast a spell, or travel into an area of bright light. And at the 17th level, Opportunist allows you to use your reaction to melee attack another creature already being attacked by somebody else. So, the way of the 4 elements, a monk is empowered by the elements and their key and uses the elements as an extension of themselves. So they can focus on 1 element, 2 elements, 3, or all 4 elements. It just depends on what path they choose. At level 3, they can pick elemental magical disciplines, each that require a key point to cast the spell, but in this instance, they don't need the material components. So pretty much the elemental disciplines are kind of like the blockbuster names for existing spells. You'll get what I mean in a minute. And also at fifth level, the monks can use an additional key point to increase the level for that spell. So some examples of elemental disciplines. Let's say the warm-up level is elemental attunement. So this is kind of like the, hey, mom, look what I can do. They can light or snuff out a candle. They can fit earth, fire, water, or mist into a 1-foot cube, etc. Any fire spinners in our midst will love Fangs of the Fire Snake, which you can use 1 key point to have a fire come from your hands and feet. This can allow you to deal out fire damage with your unarmed strikes. So s'mores for everybody. You can also spend 2 key points to cast Fist of 4 Thunders, or AKA Thunderwave, or Rush of the Gale Spirits, which is Gust of Wind, or Sweeping Cinder Strike, which is also known as Burning Hands. 6th level, you can spend 3 key points to cast Clench of the North Wind, which is also known as Hold Person, Gong of the Summit, which is Shatter. 11th level, you can do 4 key points to cast Mist Stance, which is also called Gaseous Form, or Ride the Wind, which is Fly. Flame of Phoenix, which is also known as Fireball. 17th level, you can use 6 key points for Breath of Wind, aka Cone of Cold. You can use 5 key points to cast Eternal Mountain Defense, also known as Stonekin. Stone Skin. You can use 5 key points to cast River of Hungry Flame, aka Wall of Fire, or 6 key points to cast Wave of Rolling Earth, also known as Wall of Stone. So the next tradition, kind of interesting, the Way of Long Death. These are definitely not the type of monks you want to bring home for family dinner. This macabre monastic order is focused on the perfect death, as in death itself and the art of killing. So besides general martial arts study, these monks are also a little bit mad scientist-esque because they will dig up bodies in order to study decomposition in their laboratories. There are also some reports of experimentation with slow killing of captives and/or slaves. This study of death endows them with resistance to death, frightful general appearances, and the ability to cast deadly magic. They wear dark and hooded robes. They prefer using their bare hands in battle and the weapon Kama. 3rd level, they can extract life force from a creature right before its death. So this is called Touch of Death. 6th level, they can use Hour of Reaping to frighten their enemy within 30 feet. 11th level, they can use Mastery of Death to spend 1 key point to escape death itself when their hit points reach 0. 17th level, they use Touch of Long Death to touch their enemy and inflict necrotic damage. Sounds super fun and friendly. The next tradition is called Way of the Sun Soul. So monks in this tradition can turn their energy literally into bolts of light through meditation. So at 3rd level, they can throw bolts of magical radiance to a creature within 30 feet, and they can use 1 key point to attack twice as a bonus action. 6th level, they have Searing Arc Strike, where their energy takes the form of searing waves of energy. They can use 2 key points and cast Burning Hands as a bonus action. Even better, they can spend additional key points to increase the spell level itself. At 11th level, they have Searing Sunburst, which is pretty much exploding orbs of light with a range of 150 feet that cause radiant damage. And once again, they can use a key point to increase that spell level as well. At 17th level, they become absolutely fabulous with Sun Shield. This is when they are wrapped with a bright magical aura that sheds light in a 30-foot radius. If anyone tries to dim this light, they're met with a massive dose of radiant damage. So, Way of Drunken Master is an interesting tradition. So think Captain Jack Sparrow meets Mr. Miyagi. They have irregular and unstable movements that actually hide blocks, attacks, parries, etc. But be wary, what appears to be a joker can actually be a master in disguise. So at 3rd level, they use Drunken Technique. This adds twists, turns, and the options to disengage to their normal flurry of blows. At level 6, they incorporate unexpected swaying into their movements. So this is called using Redirect Attack. They can redirect an opponent's missed melee attack to another creature within 5 feet. So just kidding, you're punching your teammate instead. Haha. At level 11, they use Drunkard's Luck to spend 2 key points to end any disadvantage on an ability check, attack, or saving throw. And my favorite would be level 17. They can use Intoxicated Frenzy to use a total of 5 flurry of blows in an attack to target a different creature in a group of enemies. I'll take a shot of whatever they are having, please. So you know how certain people will hyper-focus on their hobbies? I'm not harping on anyone, but it makes me so happy when people are passionate about the things they love. But for example, like Magic players or Warhammer or vegans, it's literally all they talk about. So the same can be said for the monks from the Way of Kenzei. But instead of cards, figurines, or food, the only thing they talk about is literally their weapons. All of them. Their weapons are not only an extension of their body, but a way to show the world the clarity and magnificence of martial arts itself. They're known for their practice, dedication, and education of not only martial arts and weaponry, but also calligraphy and painting. So at third level, they gain proficiency with their calligraphy or painter supplies. They master the use of one melee and one ranged martial arts or simple weapon. They can use agile pari. You use your melee kanzai weapon to defend yourself like a shield as you attack with your unarmed strike. So you can use this both as a shield and as a weapon. They can use kenzai's shot as a bonus action to increase the damage of their weapon. At 6th level, they can extend their key points to their weapons themselves. So this allows their weapons to inflict extra damage or imbue magic into each attack. At 11th level, they can use Sharpened Blade and use 3 key points to provide a bonus to the attack and damage rolls of their Kenzai weapons. And at 17th level, they become masters of their weapons and can use Unerring Accuracy to re-roll a missed attack once per turn. So for those of you who really love kick-ass dragons, the Ascendant Dragon tradition is for you. They believe that by mirroring dragons, having them influence their ki, they can reach spiritual unity with the material plane. So at 3rd level, they have Draconic Strike, which allows them to change the type of damage they inflict through their unarmed strikes. They have Draconic Presence, which allows reroll of a failed intimidation or persuasion check. They have Tongue of Dragons, which allows them to learn to speak, read, or write Draconic. They can also channel Draconic energy into their attacks through a 20-foot cone or a 30-foot line that can cause acid, cold, fire, lightning, or poisoning damage. At level 6, when they use their Step of Wind, they can also use Spectral Draconic Wings. So how cool is that? At level 11, they have personal 10-foot Draconic Aura around them that allows them to frighten a creature within 10 feet. And this also gives the monks and their allies within the 10-foot aura resistance to acid, cold, fire, lightning, or poison damage. At level 17, they have Augment Breath for their Breath of Dragon. They can use 1 key point to change the breath's shape and power. They gain Blind Sight out to 10 feet, and they have Explosive Fury, where creatures within their aura can take 3d10 acid, cold, fire, lightning, or poison damage. Monks of the astral self believe that the body is just an idea, that your true form is your astral self, that you use your ki to show. So pretty much you can kick ass both physically and literally with your soul. So 3rd level, they get the Arms of Astral Self. So you use 1 key point to summon these arms, and they can either be near your shoulders or encase your physical arms. So this allows you to fight both with your physical arms and your actual spiritual arms. And this lasts for 10 minutes and gives you an additional 5-foot reach. The 6th level, you can call forth the visage of your astral self, and this covers your face like a mask or a helmet for 10 minutes. While this is on, you are granted astral sight, which allows normal vision in both magical and non-magical darkness for up to 120 feet. Wisdom of the Spirit gives you advantage on wisdom and charisma checks. Word of Spirit is, think like your own private James Bond secret agent connection. You can direct your words to a creature you can see up to 60 feet away so that they're the only ones that can hear you. Or you can use it as a massive megaphone that reaches out to all creatures within 600 feet. So kind of like Attention Kmart shoppers, blue light special on aisle 5, except probably more helpful in battle. 11th level, they have the Body of Astral Self. This is when both the astral arms and the visage are summoned, which causes you to literally have whole astral body armor, pretty much. So this gives you the ability to reduce the energy and therefore damage from the following forms: acid, fire, cold, force, lightning, and thunder. And the damage is reduced by your wisdom modifier plus a 1d10. So in powered arms, they can only happen once per turn. And when you hit your target with Arms of Astral Self, you deal extra damage equal to your martial arts die. And then at 17th level, they have the Awakened Astral Self. So this is a bonus action where you use 5 key points and you can summon your arms, visage, and body for 10 minutes. This gives you a +2 bonus to your armor class, which becomes like your armor of the spirit. And then when you use this extra attack feature with just your astral arms, you can attack 3 times instead of 2. So pretty cool. Well, adventurers, that's all we have for today on Monks. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Let us know if there are any topics that are near and dear to your heart that we can cover for you. We'd love to do that. I hope you guys stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see y'all next time.